So I was recently rewatching The Walking Dead for like the 10th time. Yeah, I have a problem. And then I randomly noticed this in season 7 episode 4. There's a freaking morse code alphabet on the wall. But why would anybody have that? So I googled it and holy moly miney mo. How didn't I know about any of this? So it turns out that this isn't even the first episode the Morse code alphabet was seen in. That alphabet has been on the wall there for a long time actually. And you could say that that's just a little Easter egg in a sense, but Easter eggs usually connect to the story somehow, right? Well, the episode where I noticed the alphabet on the wall for the first time is called Service. It's that disgusting episode where Negan roasts Rick for 59 minutes straight. A few minutes in the episode, Negan comes knocking on the door. Rick opens the door to Alexandria and notices Daryl. But then Daryl starts doing weird shit. He starts blinking rapidly, like a lot. And Rick, instead of looking at Negan, looks exclusively at Daryl. Now you could say that it's just a sunny day and Daryl has really itchy eyes, sure. But I mean, look at how focused he looks. Like he seems to have really clear intentions with this. And Rick is locked in, looking just at Daryl. Now the camera did cut off Daryl at one point, but if we look at the scenes we first see Daryl blink twice rapidly. Now that in the Morse code translates to I. Then we cut to Rick looking at Daryl, and then we cut back to Daryl and he blinks once, then stops for a second. Then he blinks again, and then he does a long blink. He stops for a second, and then he does 3 rapid quick blinks and pauses again, and then he closes his eyes for almost half a second. Now look at it again. Now this in Morse code translates to I East. Essentially, Daryl was telling Rick the location of the sanctuary, the Savior's outpost where he was being held in. Now there are some different interpretations of this. For example, some people believe that he just got cut off and he wanted to tell Rick that he's eating dog food, which is possible. The overwhelming amount of fans think that he was saying that he's east. That's obviously not a lot of information, but he could have been trying to say that he's east from Hilltop. You see, we know that Hilltop is way closer to Sanctuary than Alexandria. Now keep in mind that this map is very far from perfect or completely correct, but fandom's best guess is that Sanctuary is located either east or south of Hilltop. So Daryl could be communicating that Sanctuary is east of Hilltop. After this interaction, Negan gets all pissed off, telling Rick that he can't look at Daryl or talk to him. So obviously Negan also knows that they're trying to communicate. Is it possible that Negan is a secret genius and he noticed what Daryl was doing? No, maybe, I don't know. Now this is where the fan theories mostly stop, but when I was watching the episode I noticed something else. Now this is obviously a little far-fetched, but when Rick is holding Lucio while standing beside Daryl, he also makes some weird moves with his fingers. Now that could be because he wants to smack the shit out of Negan with Lucio, but maybe, just maybe he's trying to talk to Daryl. Just my 2 cents. Also in the same episode, Rick spots Michonne hiding. She could try to communicate with Rick in Morse code, if they all do that, but she doesn't. Now maybe she was too far away from Rick to see her blinking, but yeah. Now is this theory actually true? No, obviously not. Nothing about Morse code is in the script for the episode. Plus, Cut Gimple said this about the theory. This theory makes it official that this show has the greatest viewers and fans around. I would like to live in a world where Daryl Dixon intimately knew Morse code and intimately knew that Rick knew Morse code. I love the amount of attention and imagination that is brought to this show by the audience. It was an incredibly sunny day. I think the theory actually could be correct, but not within the story. This is essentially his polite way of saying, no you freaking idiots, get alive. Now honestly, I really like this theory. I didn't really go rewatch the whole season to see if Daryl does that blinking thing again. But to be fair, Norman Reedus always played Daryl like this. I remember even in earlier seasons he was sometimes blinking rapidly. But if any of you have any other examples of Daryl talking to Rick in Morse code, please let me know.
Rick.